A 15-foot storm surge swallowed an entire island city, killing 8,000 people in a single night, making it America's deadliest natural disaster ever. If you didn't know about the hurricane that changed weather forecasting forever, send this to someone who needs to learn. Now, let's discover the storm that devastated Texas. Galveston, Texas, in 1900 was a prosperous island city, the largest in Texas with 37,000 residents. The island sat just 8 feet above sea level, vulnerable to Gulf storms. On September 8, 1900, a massive Category 4 hurricane struck Galveston. Weather forecasters had underestimated the storm's strength. No evacuation was ordered. Most residents stayed home. The hurricane brought sustained winds of 145 mph with gusts over 200 mph. But the winds weren't the killer. The storm surge was. A 15-foot wall of water swept across the entire island. The surge came so fast people had no time to escape. Homes were ripped from foundations and swept away with families inside. The storm hit at night, making escape nearly impossible. In total darkness, people clung to debris as waves washed over the island. Children were torn from parents' arms. Entire families drowned together. By morning, over 3,600 buildings were destroyed, more than half the city's structures. Debris piled 15 feet high in some areas. Bodies were everywhere, in ruins, floating in water, buried under wreckage. The death toll reached approximately 8,000 people. Nearly 1 in 4 Galveston residents died. It remains the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. Bodies overwhelmed burial capacity. Thousands of corpses were loaded onto barges and dumped at sea. But the bodies washed back to shore. Eventually, mass funeral pyres burned for weeks. The destruction was so complete that survivors couldn't identify their own neighborhoods. Landmarks were gone. Entire blocks vanished. The city was unrecognizable. After the disaster, Galveston built a massive 17-foot seawall and raised the entire city's elevation by 17 feet, using sand pumped from the ocean floor. Over 2,000 buildings were lifted on jacks. The Galveston hurricane led to the creation of modern hurricane warning systems. The disaster proved weather forecasting needed improvement and that coastal cities needed better storm preparedness. That's your knowledge bomb. Smash that like. Subscribe to 3 Min Knowledge.